Hey everybody, I've been threatening to do this for a while now and I haven't quite gotten to it, but now I'm going to show you how I make chia seed pudding. And just like any other recipe, anything else, there's no one way to make it. This is just the way I make it. And first, let's chat a little bit about chia seed. What is chia seed? A lot of people laugh about it, but it's that little black seed that you can grow, and they have like those little faces and you can grow hair from it. It's just the chia seed sprouting. But you can also eat this seed and it is really nutritious. It has a lot of omega-3, plant-based omega-3s in terms of protein and fiber, which are two things that I always look for, especially from plant-based ingredients. We've got 4 grams of protein as well as 11 grams of fiber for every 2 tablespoons of chia seed. So it's just a great little ingredient to get into your day-to-day, but a lot of folks don't really know how to use it effectively, right? So you'll try it once, you'll say, hey, it wasn't that good, I don't want to go back to it, I don't want to try it again. But or they just use it to sprinkle on top of things like cereal, yogurt, maybe on top of making pancakes, sprinkle it through there. But there's just a whole nother world when it comes to chia seed. Remember, when you take this chia seed and you mix it with water or some type of moisture, you're gonna get kind of like a gel-like substance. And that is what we're gonna be talking about today. So some of the other ingredients we'll use is our Chef's Choice coconut milk. This is my absolute hands down favorite coconut milk now. It's really rich and really delicious. So if you want a pudding that's a little bit more rich, reach out for the coconut milk. I also like to include almond milk. So I've got a cup each of almond milk, a cup of the coconut milk here. And then I want to add in a little bit of sweetener. So I do it with my Manuka honey, which I love. It's absolutely delicious. So a teaspoon, 2 teaspoons, maybe a tiny bit more for this recipe is what you're going to need. And then I really like to reach for my extracts. Any kind of really delicious, high quality, I use in this case almond extract. You can go with a vanilla extract, whatever you want, is really delicious. This is gonna take your pudding to a whole nother level, I promise. And it's funny, I'll tell you a story. I was vacationing, as many of you know already. I was out in Hawaii not too long ago, and at the hotel where we were staying, we were really excited to see that after eating this chia seed pudding at home every day before the vacation, we saw a coffee shop that offered chia seed pudding in a container, in a takeaway container with some fruit. So we thought, okay, this is gonna be really good, so we're gonna get some. We'll stay healthy and we'll be eating lean on our holidays. So we got one and we tried it, and my daughter, who loves it normally at home, was like, Mom, this tastes terrible. The reason why it tasted terrible was because it didn't have all the really special additives, which are really just 2, a little bit of extract and a little bit of honey. It makes a ton of difference. And I also think that coconut milk makes a ton of difference. So you could make it and it could be pretty bland and it'll be fine. And you'd probably be like, I'm not gonna make it again. What's all the fuss about? Anupi was lying to me. Or you can make it with my recipe and I guarantee you are going to absolutely love it. So what are we going to do in terms of the amounts of ingredients? Well, we're going to have a cup each of coconut milk and almond milk. So a cup of coconut milk, cup of almond milk. If you wanted it to be all coconut milk, you could. You want it to be all almond milk, you could. You could use soy milk. You could use regular dairy, whatever you want to use. And we're just going to take those 2 ingredients and we're gonna put it into a bowl. I love my Robin's Egg Blue glass bowls. It's always fun to have really special housewares items in your kitchen that you just love cooking with. It just makes cooking that much more fun. And here we go. The almond milk went in, the coconut milk went in. I want to grab a spatula. Give me 1 second. I always like to have my spatulas close. And especially for this coconut milk, it's so rich and delicious. I don't want to lose even a tiny bit. So always have a silicone spatula to be able to get that last little bit out of the cup. We don't want to waste any of it. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and put in some honey. I usually don't even measure it, but if you want to measure, it's about 2 teaspoons. So we'll go ahead and get that in there. We'll use a spatula to take it off the spoon. And if you're not going high on the sweet level of your food, no worries. You can also just use a teaspoon. That's enough because then you can sweeten it later with the fruit that you're going to add in. A teaspoon of extract. Again, I'm using pure almond extract. This is Nielsen Macy. They make great extracts. You could use a vanilla extract, cardamom extract, whatever you want. About a teaspoon is going to go in. Now, folks say that they like to take this and blend it in a mini food processor. I just say grab a whisk because who wants to do all that cleanup afterwards? You don't need to. So we're just going to whisk this beautifully in this bowl. And I always like to have a large and small whisk in my kitchen because the small ones come in super handy. Remember too, this is the point where you can add whatever other ingredient you want. So say that you've got an Indian as apple pie chai masala handy. You want 2 teaspoons of that chai masala, put it right in. Say that you've got some cocoa powder and you want to add a little chocolate sort of taste profile to this pudding, add a tablespoon of cocoa powder. Say that you want peanut butter in here. Now's the time to get it in. If you don't want to add in the calories from fat of peanut butter, PB2 powder is really good. If you want to add in a little bit of protein powder at this point, collagen, whatever you like, now's the time to kind of get it in. All right, so we've got it beautifully mixed up. And now we want to just go for the chia seed. Remember, the proportion is going to be important for this dish, for this pudding. 2 cups of whatever moisture you're using, half a cup of chia seed. It's going to go right in. Really incredibly simple, like so simple that, oh my gosh, why am I doing this? Even though something's simple, you've got to see it to believe it, right? So we've got the chia went in, and that's your base. It's not done yet because the magic happens when the chia and all of the ingredients in your bowl are refrigerated for an hour at least. So what you could do is at night, throw it all together, whip it all together, and then put it in your fridge. A couple other things that I've tried in this, saffron. At this point, you can take a couple strands of saffron. If you love that hue of saffron, throw it right in. What else do I do? Ginger powder can be a really good one because it gives you that beautiful ginger taste profile. And again, any sort of extract you might want to add. And then that, folks, is essentially it. Remember, chia seed is a fantastic replacement as well for eggs in baking. So if you want to make a chia egg, that's what they call it, you take about a tablespoon of chia, 2.5 tablespoons of water, mix it, let it sit, let it get nice and thick, which is what we're letting do with this whole kind of bowl of goodness. And we're gonna have something really nice and thick for you. So I already did a batch this morning, so it doesn't take very long. I put it in the fridge. I'm gonna go grab it so you can see exactly what it's gonna turn into. All right. So this is, I'm hoping everyone can see this. This is what this bowl of goodness turns into. Now, keep in mind, when you pull it out of the fridge, you're gonna have little clumps like this. That's part of the charm of the pudding, I promise. I know it looks a little funky, right? So all we're gonna do is grab our fork. We're gonna just mash it down a little bit because we wanna get rid of that clumpiness. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll go in there with, give me 1 second. I love my little masher. I've talked about this before as well. We'll go ahead and just get in there and really kind of get it nice and broken up. And that's really what it's all about. And it's funny because I'll go to these restaurants and they'll have chia seed pudding on the menu. Folks, it's kind of pricey, which is fine. I mean, they're making it for you. But here's the thing, you can make this for yourself and save a bundle. And it's even more delicious, even more fresh. I like to keep it in a jar in the fridge, so I'll eat it as pudding. Maybe also I'll throw in a couple spoons into a smoothie if I'm whipping up a smoothie and I just want a little bit of that delicious, high fiber, high protein chia seed into my day, into my morning. Or again, I'll just have the pudding. All right, here we go. Let's grab a spoon. We'll make sure we get all of the chia seeds. Chia seed's really funky. I mean, there's just a lot you can do with it. And the key is to remember any kind of moisture. Say that you're even making a dal, folks. If you want to add a little moisture and not really have a lot of taste, change the taste of your dal, throw in a tablespoon of chia seed. Super easy, super simple. So then when I go to dole this out, all I'm going to do is grab, I like having little glasses that you can see through. And you can see everything that's in there, just looks a little prettier. So when the kids come down and we've got everyone screaming for breakfast, pretty simple. Throw in some blueberries, whatever fruit you've got. Raspberries are great. Dragon fruit is a great one, high in fiber. Really good stuff. Lots of different fun colors too. Some banana if you want just a little bit more sweetness. And then the pudding. Look how nice and thick that is. And that's just going to go right in here on top. All right, that is basically all that is. That is coconut milk, almond milk, chia seed, a little honey, and some almond extract. Pretty simple. Let's taste it. Let's make sure it tastes good. Really good and really balanced in terms of sweetness. I don't like what I'm eating in the mornings to be overly sweet. This is just perfect. Enough little bit of texture to make it interesting. If you want to add a little bit more, even crunch, I've got these pumpkin seeds. These are salted, but you could have unroasted and unsalted. Throw these in for a little bit of crunch, maybe some almonds, maybe some walnuts. That crunch just makes it that much more satisfying and delicious. So good. All right, so there you go. Coconut milk, a little bit of almond milk, chia seed pudding. We'll have the recipe up on my website, Indian as Apple Pie. Subscribe to my website and to my YouTube channel, Indian as Apple Pie as well. And send me your questions. Thank you so much for all your support. Thanks for watching this, for everybody who's been tuning in. We're gonna get a lot more consistent with all of this. We love seeing you out there and we love seeing your comments and really helping you get through your day by making delicious recipes that are not only delicious, they're healthy. They're recipes that you want to keep making because they just taste so amazing. That's the key. Even if they're plant-based, it doesn't matter. The point, and I always try to emphasize this, it doesn't matter if something is plant-based or not if you don't want to eat it. So my goal for you is to give you recipes that are not only healthy, but are incredibly addictive because they're just so, so good. All right, so we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Happy eating, folks.